Welcome back to my channel. So today we are taking out my braids, and I thought I would do a long in-depth video on how to take out my braids. I do need to be quite quick about this because it's really late. It is already almost 6 o'clock and I need to take my hair out, wash it, but I don't want to be too late. Okay, so basically I got some new products that I asked on my Instagram which you would recommend. I'll show you my go-to products that I'm going to use right now because I also have a really itchy scalp, which I think is because of the braiding hair, but I managed to not have it too itchy this time. These two are my favorite. You can also get the As I Am one. They're literally identical. I just didn't have the As I Am one in my store, which are also, I think, a slightly cheaper version of them. But these ones are my favorite, which I will be using to firstly wash my hair with and like clarify my head. And then I got a few new items that I got some suggestions from you guys. This brand here, which is the Umberto Gianni Thirsty Curls, so moisturizer surge curl hydrating shampoo and conditioner to add back moisture into my braids, or not my braids, into my afro after I have used this one. As you can see, blue is a nice color. So I'm gonna go in with these first, and then I'm gonna go in with the hydration. And then for a mask, I'm using the Garnier Curl Methods hair mask, and I'm gonna have it in for at least like an hour because my hair, as you know, I do wash and I do wash and take care of my hair when it's in braids, which is why it doesn't feel as dry as it normally would. But honestly, a protected hairstyle is you have to make it protective, otherwise it won't be protective. And then I got this hair oil from the same brand as these guys, mainly because every time you take out your braids, you want your hair to be moisturized because otherwise it will snap and ruin your hair. There's some more stuff in here, but that has nothing to do with my hair. For taking out braiding hair, I like to cut my hair short, which kind of reduces the time of my hair takeout, and then douse my hair in oil. That's what we're gonna do. I haven't lost my mind, don't worry. I am just taking out my braids, and my hair has grown quite a bit and is already really long. So I'm cutting it a amount that I know like my real hair is not gonna be here, because there's no way that I am going to cut my actual real hair. It has happened before. I don't need it to happen again. I'm just gonna open up my hair, and you can use whatever tools. I'm just using a tweezers right now. So from here, I'm just gonna go in, douse your whole head with this because it really helps with your hair. Dousing it all the way down to where your hair starts and ends, just so it's like, oh, that smells nice. And I'm just gonna put that all over my head, just so it is soft and doesn't break. I'm not even gonna bother using this. I'm gonna use my hand, you know. But you want to do it all over your hair, and it just makes it easier to slip up through. My natural hair, I would say at the bottom, is actually quite long. It's like this long. Let me zoom in. So with the oil, it just makes it easier to unravel. I know it might feel like a waste, especially if you spent like a lot of money on the oil, but I would definitely recommend getting the cheaper version, like a drugstore one. When I looked at the price, it did say less than what it went up when I scanned it, but I'm not gonna argue with it. Now that I'm getting to my natural hair, look at that. That's such a nice curl. Maybe I should keep that hair. There we go. Do you see that? Do you see that? How easy that just came out? We'll keep some and see what it says. But as you can see, all of that is my natural hair. And now that I've actually put the hair oil in it, look, it's just so much easier to brush out with your hands. So I'm going to do this all over my head. So as you can see, that's how much hair breaks off when you do this method. So what I do now is I go in with my oil and just put it all over my scalp and wring it down the braid. And then from here, I will take the same length of my hair and cut it a bit shorter, just so I can see, like, okay, so my natural hair is ending there. And then I start unraveling it. You want to unravel from the outside braid, and then you can find it easy, if that makes sense, like by pulling it out. Oh, I got that in my eye. And then once you get to the top, make sure you're not pulling your hair so much, which is why I always lean my head. I know it looks weird. I lean my head into the braid when I'm removing it.
Many unbearable hours later.
And then just lightly unravel each hair, especially when you get closer to the roots of your hair. You want to be a little more gentle, like so. And I've started at 5, and then you can just kind of like take this part and then you can like pull it out lightly. And then with your natural hair, you just want to undo the braids lightly, like so. And then with the oil, I just massage that into my hair and just have it kind of absorb that until I wash it out. And so far, from doing all of this, I have lost this much hair, which I think is really good. So little, and I've done like a quarter. That's just how I go in and do it. I'll show you another one once I've done a bit more. What I do is put some oil into the hair completely, because this way when you detangle it or unravel it, it won't tangle within each other, and you can easily just remove the extension. Put the oil all the way down. This is why I would say get a cheap oil, because you don't want to be using an expensive hair oil on the braids, because you're just going to end up throwing it away. And then unravel it or unbraid it. And this will honestly be the best to avoid any breaking of your hair. And if you do get any knots, I would just cut it off, because you don't want to pull that. I've got my natural hair and the braiding hair, and just undo it, and you just get it out like so. And then here you just want to, and that's literally all. You can't even see it, like the hair that will come out. And this is how much hair I've lost, which is not much, but there will probably be more once I wash my hair, but that's just how you do it. Hair with shampoo and conditioner. Going with this anti-dandruff itching one from Care because I'm also prepping my hair, and I love the way it cleanses my scalp. It makes my scalp feel so clean. And I go in with a conditioning shampoo, which I didn't show in here because this video would be so long and you don't have that attention span. And then with the conditioner, I don't use a dime size. I will use the whole bottle if I have to, because I need my hair to absorb the condition and be happy. And then after I do that, I wash it out again. I let it sit for about 5 to 10 minutes and then wash it out. And then I go in with my deep conditioning mask. Look at these curls. Aren't they adorable? I section my hair into small sections to make sure that it's coated with the full mask, hair mask, just to make sure that all my strands get much love. Because at this point, I want my hair to be absorbing as much moisture as possible because it's low porosity. And I love actually doing it. I find it quite therapeutic. And then I leave it in for about an hour. I leave it in for like 6 hours, and then I wash it out. After washing it out, I'll make sure I dry it. I keep it a little damp anyways, but then I go in with this Garnier leave-in conditioning mask, or you can even wash it out according to the instructions. But I am wearing surgical masks because I want all the product to be in my hair and not in my hands. I've noticed that whenever I don't use gloves, that the products kind of just sit on my hands, and I don't like that. So hence I'm using the gloves. But anyways, I'm sectioning my hair into 2 sections and then into 3 sections, and coating each strand of my hair with this leave-in conditioning mask to make sure that I get all the product that I need. And also, this is how I stretch my hair and detangle it. I detangle it with my hands first, and then I go in with a comb. I think it's best to tell with your hands if there's any parts that you need to detangle, and then you don't need to worry about the comb snapping your hair. And then I just keep going like this and coat my whole head, because I love making sure that my whole hair and my whole head of hair is covered in a nice thick hydrating leave-in mask or conditioner. And then from here, afterwards, I go in and make sure it's all coated, and then afterwards I will take a hair tie and put it into 2 buns to stretch it.